member, one can address them.
Excuse me.
My distinguished senator, we are here from different, from different parts of the country. We function under what they call Nigeria Police Force retirees under the Contributory Pension Scheme. My name is Uyo, retired CSP. And here with me is the chairman of the River State chapter.
There's no way.
SP, retired. And we have the man from Sokoto State is here and various other states of the nation. We are here because we feel cheated when we retired from the Nigeria Police Force. Our major problem is that by the time we were enlisted into the Nigeria Police Force, we were enlisted under what they call defined benefit scheme. Along the line in 2004, they introduced what they call contributory pension scheme. And at that time, we have served up to 20-something years. Some have served up to 30 years before that time. And on retirement, what they paid us is just a peanut. We have complained, we have written severally, no positive action has come up. That's why today, we repeat what we did on the 28th of April, in which you addressed us and spoke with us that the Senate is going to do something about it. Thereafter, we got a letter inviting us for an interactive session with the Senate. That was done. And it was also in that forum that AG was advised to set up a committee to see how we can amend or to bring a proposal for the amendment of Section 5(1)A of the 2014 Pension Act. That has not been done today. Instead, what was done, from what we saw, they sent us a letter that they are going to constitute a committee to do that. But yet, from that June till now, nothing has been done. Instead, the MPA pensions and our big men were touring the zones that paying policemen or retired officers and hiring staff from the park that we said we are comfortable with the contributory pension scheme, which was a big foul. We never said so.
A lie, not foul. A lie.
A lie. Today again, and we have another issue in which we want to talk about the debarment allowance. The debarment allowance is allowance that you pay to officers who have been trained on various skills, like bomb, like issue of arms and ammunition, like acquiring various dangerous skills that you can use against the state. But our men were trained on this, and they have been using it when they were working. Now that they are retired, they should be paid off because they can easily be used by those who are against the state. That's why we are here. You can see that the number today has enlarged, higher than what it was that day. That day we were about 9 states. Today we have 27 states here with us. So I think it's becoming a national issue now, a national concern. Nobody here will say that is comfortable with the contributory pension scheme. No. I retired as the chief of the police. What they pay me today is 42,000. I'm even lucky. Some here who retired earlier than me are receiving 20-something thousand as CSPs in the Nigeria Police Force. It's a we are crying, we are begging, and we know that the National Assembly can help us because it was under this scheme that the military, the DSS, and the intelligence community were removed from the contributory pension scheme in 2014. We are aware of that. You can also help us because if we are waiting for the police, they are benefiting from the scheme. The hierarchy of the police is benefiting from the scheme. They own the MPF Pensions Limited, which is like a limited liability company. That's why we plead with you, sir. Help us. Thank you, sir. Have I spoken your mind?
Yeah!
You want to leave a CPS to defined benefit scheme?
Yeah!
Another one, even the 2.5% that our president approved for us to be refunded has not been given to us. They are pushing it into a retirement savings account. That's why we are here, sir. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your coming, sir, because you have showed concern, you have showed commitment.
Let us go back small so that
this is too close. We are not trying to
just for you to get
let them go back. Let them go back. No, look, they are correct. We have to arrange ourselves because they are too close. Without our cameramen.
So what are you?
We arrange ourselves.
COVID-19 protocol.
Let's just wait. Please, can we move back a bit? Okay. Can we move back a bit? Let's move back a bit. Please, press.
One place is not just exchange.
Everyone should go back and press. So that you can make this address snappy. Go back, please.
Now we need a mic. We need a mic. No what we fight for.
You can stop. You can stop.
How many hours?
Okay, you can stop.
Okay, let me stop.
You don't want to stop.
The mic.
The deputy of the minority in the Senate of the Ninth Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is standing here for the Senate President. And myself as the chairman of the committee, the chairman of the association. Good morning. Members of the press. As he rightly says, this is going to be our second meeting. And as God will have it, this is the house of the Nigerian people.
Yes, sir.
And it is based on the confidence you have on us that you are here and you want us to intervene on this issue. You may recall that the last time I told you that I'm going to invite all the critical stakeholders in the police affairs to come, which we have done that. I have with me the copy of the brief of the meeting. I was not on seat, and lucky for us, the deputy minority leader is the deputy chief, also double as the deputy chairman of the Committee on Police Affairs in the Senate. So he holds that meeting. We invite all the critical stakeholders, including the police management, for an interactive session with the committee to see what is the best way to address this issue. We've now realized that this issue cannot be addressed by just a discussion on the round table. There has to be a constitutional amendment, an amendment to the act given by to the police pension. So we now sat with them, we send an invitation to all the critical stakeholders for their input, which I think a letter has been written to you people, which we are still waiting for your input, which you are yet to bring, to submit to the committee. We have not submitted any report on your input on how to resolve this issue. But the committee has so far received about 3 or 4 submissions on how to amend on the amendment of the act. But I think my leader here, he presided over that meeting with the IGP and the other critical stakeholders. He's in a better position to shed more light on what has transpired that day during the meeting. So over to you.
Thank you, my chairman, distinguished retirees. You are welcome to the National Assembly. The National Assembly stands for you. And you will recall that some of you were in my office and we held an interactive session. At that point in time, we came to the conclusion, in the presence of DIG, I can't remember DIG. So one of the DIGs was with us. We also invited some officials of the Pension Commission. We also invited other stakeholders that were also supposed to be there for a definitive resolution of the issues that you brought before us. what we agreed was that eventually, for us to be able to move forward and to attend to our problem globally, the Inspector General of Police is supposed to submit an amendment bill, a draft bill to the committee. Yes, to the committee, a draft bill, so that the committee will look at it and then decide on whether it is executive that will present the bill. I even went to the extra length of promising to you that if that one is not done, I personally will take responsibility and deal with the bill as a private member bill. I made that promise to you. And I am still on it. But on your part also, you are supposed to submit an input for us to move forward. You know your problems much better than we do, but I assured you, even that time, that we are with you, we stand by you. And your interest, honestly, is in the foremost of our mind. What is happening now? In fact, that time, I even went to a greater length to tell you that my chairman was on official engagement in the United Kingdom. And that was why the meeting was chaired by me as vice chair of the committee. And I think during that time, went even further to let you know that the committee is doing its very best to even invite the chairman's Salaries and Wages Commission on the issue of review of police, Nigerian police salaries and other allowances. That one I know we have sent an invitation, and sooner than later, this committee, the agency will appear before the committee. You know we are on break. And as soon as that is done, we'll also move forward on that issue. But what is most important now, I personally, I am taking a private member bill on the amendment of that Pension Act globally. I will tell you that I am also a retired civil servant. I retired some more than 10 years ago as a director. And I can tell you that based on this contributory pension scheme, my pension on monthly basis is 115,000. So you can see virtually everybody is affected. So I want to bring, with the cooperation of my colleagues in the National Assembly, comprehensive change that will also cover other civil servants and ensure that the police are exempted in similar fashion. Yes. So please cooperate with us. I want to say this once more again. If you are able to bring in your input, the chairman, the office of the chairman is there. Let us do this, please, as soon as possible. And I will tell you that our president, the president of the Senate, Dr. Ahmed Dawud, is willing. In fact, as I was leaving the chamber now, he directed that I should tell you that he has you in mind, and his support is 100%. We are going to do what needs to be done and ensure that you get fairness in the outcome of this issue. This is an issue which personally I consider as done, provided you do your own bit. Your own bit is to ensure that what we require as input is also made available to the committee and by extension to the National Assembly. The National Assembly will ensure that you get justice the justice that you deserve. And we are here for you. Thank you very much.
In addition, I believe some of you are lawyers, or you have lawyers among you. Please, I want you to go, sit down, condense the document, and then come up with a very good input that you know will affect you positively. In isometric view, sit down, condense the whole, that's the act, the question act. And then when you're making your input, you make sure everything has been captured in that presentation. It is, I assure you, it is what we are going to use as a guidance on the amendment on the floor of the Senate.
Thank you, sir. What I is this? Up to now, the letter we are talking about has not been received by us. The one the IG gave us that he wants to constitute the committee was only given to us, and we have been expecting a date for him to come. Since then, he has not done it. We have not been served any letter to contribute anything.
You know,
I was
yes, but you know, it was not only the IGP. I also made that request that let us have your own input as contribution, because the matter was just being brought to us.
Country people,